I feel like you've been waiting for this episode for so long.
The day is here. The day is here. Let's get these hands on my Jeep.
Oh, your Jeep.
Our new Jeep.
Welcome to episode number 6 of this Jeep TJ SE 4-cylinder model.
That's right, baby.
For those that have been following, last episode we actually used the Duralube treatment to get rid of the check engine light, and I'm happy to report to you that it has worked. Check engine light is gone for now. We will let you know as soon as it comes back. What are we doing on this week's episode?
On this week's episode, we are officially turning this TJ into that truck we've been mentioning. We are gonna bedline the entire floor and trunk of this vehicle. So we are gonna remove all of the bolts, all of these brackets, the seats, sand it down, and then paint it.
One of your favorite things in the world ever twice over to do.
That's right.
We are so excited. We are going to be doing all of this with simple hand tools. That all of the links of those things will be in the description below. We'll make a separate tab in our Amazon store about bedlining the rear of the Jeep Wrangler. It's actually really affordable. It's cheaper than buying back seats, and we've definitely needed a vehicle to kind of lug things around. So why don't we get started? First thing, we're going to take the top off.
Let's do it.
What do you guys think about the top, by the way? Let us know in the comments. This thing looks awesome.
I love it. Just gonna walk you through a couple of the tools that we're gonna use. We'll have the link below in case you want to try this project yourself. So the first thing that we purchased was a hand sander. Now, because of the way the trunk is, there's a couple corners that might be harder with a larger sander, so we opted for something that we can use and really get into those nooks and crannies that might be more challenging to get. We also purchased a hand sander, okay? Super easy to use, you guys. We'll show you how to use it once we unbox it as well. Now, as far as painting, we did purchase different size brushes because, again, the shapes of the trunk might get a little bit finicky. So, big and small, along with some rollers. This is for rough surfaces. When you are using rollers, make sure that you're reading the label. A lot of them say smooth to semi-smooth to semi-rough. Make sure that you get the rough rollers if you are going to opt to use the rollers.
Rough rollers.
And last but not least, this is the truck bed lining that we opted to use. One bucket is gonna be more than enough to get this TJ done. Let's do it. We're gonna start by removing all of the hardware that you would find in the rear of the TJ. All of it's pretty expensive and maybe hard to find if you're looking for a replacement, so keep it and put it on the side for a rainy day. Let's start by getting rid of some bolts.
It was literally like $200, $300 for 4 brackets. Isn't that crazy?
Cray. Why don't you start by spraying with a little WD-40 so it doesn't come as a difficult task? You can use hand tools for this, but we're gonna opt for the air compressor because we know we have our work cut out for us for sanding and painting. So let's use that air tool and get it started.
If you haven't purchased an air tool yet, this is your opportunity.
Oh, Greg, why don't you tell me the fun part? What are we doing now?
Seats are coming out.
What?
The seats are coming to a theater near you.
Can you imagine? Put these seats in a movie theater? To remove the seats, it's just 4 bolts. There isn't a lot of access to put an air gun down there, so we're gonna use hand tools and then we'll start sanding. And then your airbag's out. Woo! Now, not only have we decided to bedline the trunk, but also the tub. So we are gonna rip out this carpet because it is just nasty and bedline it and give it that clean finish. And number 2. And there it is. Start ripping that carpet out. Should be pretty simple. You ready to rip one out?
What?
What? I don't know.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That is so satisfying. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Is that it?
All right. Yep, just pull it.
Leave it. The sander we bought has a little bag to catch as much as it can. Let's just go for it. There's an on and off switch and an extension cable. It's pretty simple, guys. Anyone can use this at home. Let's go.
Good luck.
Wow.
Arlene is.
Hungry.
What do we got here?
Thai food, Berber.
All right, here you are.
Oh.
Here you are.
Oh. Ah.
Whoa, we gotta wash your hands, bub.
I was wearing gloves.
So tell me, what's up?
Time for some Thai food because I'm hungry. I love working on the Jeep because that means I can eat whatever I want afterwards.
Pretty good, huh? Did you try that one? You know, part of the fun of doing projects like this is hanging out with one another. You know, we've never done this before and we're kind of just learning along the way, and we know it's not going to be perfect. We know that it's not going to look professional, it's not going to look perfect, but it's going to look good. And that's what we go for.
It's gonna look like us, huh?
Unprofessional.
Not perfect.
This is really good.
The tub is done. As you can tell, we spent quite a bit of time making sure we sanded every nook and cranny. We did the best that we could. Now I'm gonna move on to the tailgate, and Greg is scrubbing the tub to make sure there's no dirt. If you're painting anything, you do not want any dirt because then it's just not gonna make the contact with the tub, and it's a higher chance that it's gonna peel off or come off easily. So make sure to clean all the dirt off.
And I think once we're done sanding, I think we're done for the night. We're gonna close up shop and continue tomorrow. What do you think?
Sounds good. Let's continue.
Let's do it. How was that Thai food?
Oh, unreal. Sanding is fully completed. We took our time to make sure we got every corner to make sure that the paint's gonna seal tomorrow. But before painting, we need to make sure to wash it. So let's come back in daytime tomorrow. Let's wash this baby and then let's start painting.
How many coats you want to put on this thing?
I mean, let's see how one looks, but definitely a couple.
And what is one tip that you would recommend to the viewer to consider?
Invest in a good sander. This one's perfect for my size, but the pads makes the world a difference. So don't cheap out on the pads. Get the best grade so that really...
And what's the best grit?
What did we use, 100? 80.
So ideally
the lower the number, the better it is. The higher the number, the less shenagle it has.
Exactly. And because we're doing a bed liner material and not like a smooth glossy finish, we're not actually going to ramp up the sand and go to like 1000 grit, 2000 grit. We're actually just gonna leave it here at the 80 to 100 grit and paint right over it with our rough brush.
Let's come back tomorrow, guys.
Let's do it. Just a little winded here, guys. Welcome to day 2.
Good morning, you guys.
So we're gonna continue with the prep. Now, prep is by far the longest process. You wanna make sure it's totally prepped, totally ready to go, because when you put the layers of paint on, you want them to stick. We've elected not to use primer because the instructions say you don't have to use primer, so I think we'll be okay in that regard. But basically, just to give you an overview of how we're cleaning it, we're using a small wire brush now that we're done sanding the entire bed to get rid of the large debris, and then we're using a nylon brush to get rid of the excess debris, kind of just to get a lot of surface area at once. And we're using a bucket full of soapy water. We like turtle wax soap, and also a rag to kind of get rid of the dirt. So you're basically just gonna spend your time, do all of that stuff, get it ready for paint, and we'll see you after a few of these short clips.
Let's go. Greg has already done this side, and just look at the difference from here to over there. Now that the cleaning is done, we are going over it one more time to ensure that it is fully dry. If there's any ounce of water, you guys, that paint is not gonna stick. So let's confirm that it's dry by wiping it down with a dry towel, and then it's paint time.
And we're gonna work our way from the front to the rear. Auleen's gonna do the driver's side, I'm gonna do the passenger side, because quite frankly, she's a lot better at this than I am. And then we are gonna work our way back doing the upper areas down to the lower areas. And hopefully we could get away with 2 coats. If not, we'll do 3 and some touch-ups, and we'll go from there. This is the moment we have been waiting for. We read that 1 gallon is plenty. Make sure to shake this thing up because it technically has sediment in it that gives it that rough lining material, and you want to make that homogeneous instead of having it all settle on the bottom. All right. I am so excited to have the seats back in and to see what this thing is gonna look like. Wow, this part's tough, huh? Wow. Black gold.
All right.
So how are we gonna do this thing?
All right, where's the tray? Inside.
Right here.
Oh, that's the cup.
We're gonna start with the cup. All right, Auleen, give us the 1-2.
What does that even mean?
She is in the zone right now. There's no distracting this bumblebee queen.
Gonna start with the...
Didn't even acknowledge the joke.
No, because I'm on business. This business. Gonna start with the hand brushes, not the roller, just to get all the crevices on the driver's side. Then for the majority of the surface area, you can use the roller. So let's take that handy dandy bucket and go for it.
I can't wait to watch you do this whole install. Excuse me?
I'm gonna send it. All right, let's see. It's good to understand the consistency of your paint. Just a pro tip of, the painter. It's good to understand the consistency of your paint so you know how much to put on the tip of your brush so it doesn't spill everywhere. Another tip I would say is a lot of people tend to flip their brush upward so the paint goes closer to this mid area and then it drips everywhere. If you can keep it just on the tip while you're painting a project like this, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, just the tip, folks. Isn't that too big? You don't want us to do the smaller one?
Nope. Ready? Can you see? Wow!
Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, you'll just do all of it.
Avoiding blue tape, you guys, I just put a chunk of the paint on the tip, and then I really just shimmy my way underneath, and then turn it. No blue tape needed. You got clips on my phone, right? Yeah. So keep. I'm gonna. trying to avoid where the seat is going to screw in just so there's no complications. So I'm just painting all around it, but not letting any paint drip inside.
Let me take a look. Can I see? How does that look?
Ouch.
Wow. Wow, that looks great.
Well, thank you so much.
I just worry that it's going to be hard to clean later. What do you think?
Grab a hose and hose it off, Greg.
And the first words?
That's gnarly, man. I think it looks great.
Let this coat dry. We still have to do the passenger side. Alline is coming through clutch. So Alline is wrapping up the first coat. We're gonna wait about 2 hours between coats. You could tell this stuff is really sticky and it's already drying really nicely. So we're gonna give it a couple hours and then we're gonna put one more coat on it and then see. Reading the back of the instructions, it says get it to 5 mils thickness, but we don't have any way to measure that. So we're just gonna use as much as we can, you know, get her done. Isn't that right, Alline?
Yes. On to coat number 2. All right, we're done. This is going to the trash. Let's let it dry and wait a couple hours to show you the results.
What's going to the trash?
This and this.
What do you think,
Serious.
Alline? What is your final thoughts before we close this out?
I think it looks amazing, you guys. Highly recommend it if you purchase a Jeep with a disgusting base.
You know, it's way cheaper than replacing the carpet, and quite honestly, it looks awesome. Why don't we wait for it to dry and give you our final thoughts?
Let's
So, Alline's verdict is...
That looks insane. Highly recommend this job.
You and I today on this channel.
Yes. There you have it, you guys. The full scope of lining the base, the tub, the trunk of our TJ 2003. I was about to say Rubicon, but it's not Rubicon.
I wish. I would do anything. I would trade a lot of things for that, but yeah.
With a liner. All the products that we use will be linked below if you are interested in doing this job. This is just the beginning, you guys. We are just starting to build up this TJ, and we have so much more in store for you. So make sure to tune in, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of this series, and we'll see you on the next one.
We got a good one for the next one, so stay tuned. Also, we need some ideas for giveaways, so if you don't mind, drop some below. And why don't we go ahead and the chariot?
No.
Oh,
No, we're
wait.
good.
No, we're
Just
good.
one of
Okay,
these,
all right,
right?
okay, we're just gonna walk off. Okay, cool.
There we go.
Close enough.